Have you ever noticed that foods you once loved just don't seem to agree with you the way they used to? Maybe you feel a little more tired after meals, or you're dealing with unexpected bloating or joint aches that seem to come out of nowhere. You're not alone. As we age, our bodies change, and so does the way we react to certain foods. Even those healthy vegetables we grew up believing were good for us might be causing hidden problems we never suspected. Now don't worry, I'm not about to tell you to give up every vegetable or live on lettuce alone. But it's important to know that a few vegetables, surprisingly common ones, can quietly work against your health once you hit your 60s and beyond. If you've been feeling a little more sluggish, stiff, or just not quite like yourself, it might not just be getting older. It could be something sitting right there on your dinner plate. Today, we're going to have an open, honest conversation about 7 vegetables seniors should be cautious about. By understanding how these foods affect your body, you'll be able to make smarter choices that keep you feeling energetic, comfortable, and thriving every single day. So let's dive right in, starting with a vegetable that hides in plain sight: peas. Sweet little peas. They look so innocent, don't they? Whether they're tucked into a casserole, scattered in a salad, or steamed on the side of your dinner plate, peas have been praised for their fiber and vitamins for decades. But for seniors, they can be sneaky troublemakers. You see, peas are high in something called a glycemic load, which basically means they break down into sugar in your body faster than you'd think. And as we get older, our bodies aren't as quick to handle sugar spikes. Insulin sensitivity naturally declines, making us more vulnerable to those roller coaster blood sugar swings that leave you feeling tired, foggy, and craving even more sugar later on. But it's not just about sugar. Peas are also rich in purines, which the body breaks down into uric acid. Too much uric acid floating around in your system can lead to painful gout attacks. You know, that sharp burning pain usually starting in your big toe or ankle. Even if you've never had gout before, excess uric acid can silently build up and even lead to kidney stones, creating serious problems before you even realize what's happening. And if that's not enough, peas can be hard on your digestion too. They're packed with resistant starches and something called lectins, little compounds that are tough to break down, especially if your digestive enzymes aren't what they used to be. The result? Gas, bloating, sluggish digestion, and that uncomfortable feeling like your belly just doesn't want to cooperate. So, while the occasional handful of peas isn't the end of the world, if you're feeling gassy, bloated, or worn out after eating them, it might be time to think twice before piling them onto your plate. Now, let's talk about another vegetable you probably thought was doing you a world of good: asparagus. Those elegant green spears that show up at every fancy dinner party. Asparagus is loaded with vitamins like A, C, E, and K, and it's long been hailed as a heart-healthy, waistline-friendly choice. And don't get me wrong, it does have its benefits. But hidden beneath that glowing reputation is a side to asparagus that most people over 60 don't hear about. First off, asparagus is another purine-rich food. That means more uric acid production, just like with peas. If you're someone who already battles arthritis, joint stiffness, or gout, asparagus could be quietly adding fuel to the fire, making those achy knees or swollen hands even worse without you realizing why. And here's something else. Asparagus acts as a natural diuretic. It makes you urinate more often, which sounds like a good thing. Flush the system out, right? But for seniors, it's a slippery slope. As we age, our bodies tend to dehydrate faster and our thirst signals become weaker. You might not feel thirsty even when your body is running low on fluids. If you're already on medications that pull water from your system, like diuretics for blood pressure, asparagus can amplify dehydration. That can leave you feeling dizzy, confused, stiff, or just plain exhausted. And dehydration puts extra pressure on your kidneys too, making them work harder than they need to, which isn't ideal for anyone, let alone for bodies that have been working for 6 or 7 decades. So if you've ever found yourself feeling woozy, extra tired, or unusually stiff after a big plate of asparagus, it might not be your imagination. It might be your body telling you it needs a break from that so-called superfood. And speaking of foods that can quietly mess with your blood sugar and digestion, there's one that almost everyone has a soft spot for: corn. Whether it's corn on the cob at a summer barbecue, popcorn at the movies, or just a spoonful tossed into a salad, corn is everywhere. It's cheerful, it's familiar, and it's hard to imagine family meals without it. But here's the truth. For seniors, corn can be a real troublemaker. One big reason is that corn is packed with cellulose, a type of fiber our bodies can't fully digest. When we're young, our digestion can handle that better, but as we age, the production of digestive enzymes slows down. That makes it harder to break down tough plant fibers like the ones in corn. If you've ever noticed whole corn kernels showing up, well, you know where. You're seeing the evidence firsthand. And along with those undigested bits come bloating, gas, abdominal cramps, and sluggish digestion that can make you feel uncomfortable and weighed down. But that's not all. Corn has a surprisingly high glycemic index, meaning it can cause your blood sugar to spike quickly, just like sweets can. For seniors who may already be battling prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or just plain old blood sugar ups and downs, corn can quietly throw your whole system into chaos. Those sharp sugar spikes and crashes leave you tired, moody, and craving more carbs, creating a vicious cycle that's hard to break. And there's another hidden problem most people don't think about. A lot of the corn grown today, especially the corn used in processed foods, is genetically modified and heavily treated with pesticides like glyphosate. Even if you're not eating bags of corn chips, you could still be getting small doses of these chemicals from innocent-looking snacks, cereals, and even condiments made with corn syrup. Over time, that kind of chemical exposure can mess with your digestion, your immune system, and even speed up age-related diseases. If you truly love corn, you don't have to banish it from your life forever. But it's worth being mindful, choosing organic, non-GMO corn when you can, enjoying it in moderation, and paying attention to how your body feels after eating it. A few small shifts can make a world of difference in how vibrant and energetic you feel every day. Now that we've opened the door to understanding how peas, asparagus, and corn can quietly impact your well-being, it's time to take an even closer look at a few more vegetables that might be hiding in your kitchen right now, just waiting to stir up trouble without you even knowing it. When it comes to eating healthy, many people proudly pile mushrooms onto their plates, believing they're getting a hearty dose of nutrients and antioxidants. And it's true, mushrooms can be rich in B vitamins, fiber, and even special compounds that support the immune system. But there's a side of mushrooms that's rarely talked about, especially when it comes to senior health, and it's something you deserve to know. Mushrooms are like little sponges. They absorb everything around them, not just nutrients from the soil, but also heavy metals, pesticides, and pollutants. Unfortunately, unless you're buying organic mushrooms from a trusted source, there's a good chance that those seemingly innocent mushrooms could be carrying a load of contaminants straight into your body. And here's the tough part. As we get older, our bodies simply aren't as efficient at detoxifying as they used to be. What used to pass through harmlessly when you were younger can now linger, quietly straining your kidneys, your liver, even your brain over time. Even store-bought mushrooms aren't automatically safe. Many are grown in environments where soil quality isn't carefully monitored. And over the years, exposure to heavy metals like lead and cadmium, even in tiny amounts, can contribute to memory loss, nerve damage, and worsening kidney health, without you connecting the dots. It doesn't happen overnight, but it builds, day after day, meal after meal. And there's something else hidden inside mushrooms, a compound called agarotine, especially common in white button mushrooms. Scientists have raised concerns that, in large amounts over time, agarotine could have a carcinogenic effect. While cooking mushrooms can reduce these risks, many people love tossing a handful of raw mushrooms into their salads, or only giving them a quick sauté, thinking they're boosting nutrition without realizing they might be increasing their exposure to unwanted risks. Now, if that weren't enough, mushrooms can also be tricky on digestion. They contain a tough substance called chitin. It's what gives mushrooms their firm texture. But chitin is hard to break down, especially for aging digestive systems where stomach acid might not be as strong. This can lead to bloating, gas, and stomach discomfort that sneaks up later in the day. Even allergies to mushrooms can develop later in life, causing strange symptoms like skin rashes, swelling, or digestive upsets. Symptoms that are easy to blame on aging or random chance if you don't know what to look for. The good news is, if you love mushrooms, you don't necessarily have to say goodbye. Cooking them thoroughly helps break down the tough fibers and reduces the levels of agarotine significantly. Choosing organic mushrooms whenever possible also slashes your exposure to harmful chemicals. And most importantly, listen to your body. If you notice you feel a little worse after eating mushrooms, even if it's subtle, it's worth cutting back or trying other vegetables instead. And speaking of foods that seem so healthy but can stir up hidden trouble, let's talk about cabbage. Just the name probably makes you think of hearty soups, crunchy coleslaw, and maybe even memories of home-cooked meals. Cabbage is often celebrated for its fiber, vitamin C, and antioxidants, and it definitely has its place. But for seniors, cabbage comes with a few surprising red flags that deserve a closer look. One of the biggest issues with cabbage is its effect on the thyroid. Cabbage belongs to the cruciferous vegetable family, the same family as broccoli, kale, and Brussels sprouts, and it contains natural compounds called goitrogens. These goitrogens can interfere with your body's ability to absorb iodine, which is crucial for a healthy thyroid. Your thyroid, in turn, controls your metabolism, your energy levels, your body temperature, and even your mood. If you're already dealing with a slow thyroid, and many people are without even realizing it, eating a lot of raw or lightly cooked cabbage could quietly be making it worse. You might have noticed signs: feeling unusually tired, gaining weight without explanation, feeling cold even when others are comfortable, struggling with brain fog or mood swings. Sometimes these symptoms get brushed off as normal aging, but the truth is, what's on your plate could be playing a much bigger role than you think. But that's not the only challenge cabbage can bring. Cabbage is also high in a natural sugar called raffinose, which is notorious for causing gas and bloating. For a younger digestive system, that might just mean a little discomfort. But for seniors, whose digestion often slows down, and whose gut bacteria might be more sensitive, that can translate into real misery. Cramping, excessive gas, distension, and pressure that makes even simple daily activities feel uncomfortable. For people already managing conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulosis, or acid reflux, cabbage can turn an already sensitive gut into a battlefield. And once again, it's easy to mistake these problems as just another part of getting older when, in reality, they're linked directly to what you're eating. The beautiful thing is, you don't have to give up cabbage completely if you love it. Fermented cabbage like sauerkraut or kimchi is a fantastic alternative because the fermentation process breaks down the troublesome compounds, making it easier to digest. Plus, fermented foods offer probiotics, the good bacteria that can help balance your gut health, something that becomes more important with every passing year. Cooking cabbage thoroughly, whether by boiling, steaming, or sautéing, also helps reduce the levels of goitrogens and raffinose, making it a safer and more comfortable option for your meals. But there's one more vegetable we need to talk about, and it might surprise you because it's often seen as a staple in hearty, delicious dishes: eggplant. That deep, rich purple vegetable that shows up in Mediterranean meals and comfort foods everywhere. Eggplant has a silky texture and soaks up flavors beautifully, but behind that soft bite hides a few serious concerns for seniors. First, eggplant belongs to the nightshade family, right alongside tomatoes, peppers, and potatoes. Nightshades contain a chemical called solanine, which, for some people, especially those prone to inflammation, can trigger or worsen joint pain, stiffness, and swelling. If you're someone living with arthritis, gout, or other inflammatory conditions, eggplant could be making your symptoms worse without you realizing it. And that's not all. Eggplant also contains oxalates, natural compounds that can contribute to the formation of kidney stones. Seniors already face a higher risk of kidney issues just due to the natural aging process, and adding more oxalates into the mix can quietly push that risk even higher. Kidney stones aren't just painful, they can seriously compromise kidney function if they become a recurring problem. The thick skin and tiny seeds of eggplant can also pose digestive challenges. For those with slower digestion, acid reflux, or sensitive stomachs, eggplant can irritate the gut lining, leading to discomfort, bloating, or even nausea after meals. And just like with mushrooms, mild allergic reactions to eggplant, things like itching, tingling in the mouth, or digestive upset, aren't as rare as you might think, especially as our immune systems change with age. If you adore eggplant and don't want to part with it, there's good news. How you prepare it matters. Fully cooking eggplant, roasting, baking, grilling, can dramatically reduce the amount of solanine and make it easier on your digestion. Peeling the skin and salting the slices before cooking, an old-fashioned trick, helps draw out bitter compounds and moisture, leaving you with a softer, more digestible dish. Being mindful of how often you eat eggplant and watching how your body responds afterward can help you enjoy it without inviting unnecessary pain or discomfort into your life. Taking a little time to notice how your body feels after you eat isn't just smart. It's a powerful act of self-care. And when you start tuning in, you'll be amazed at how quickly small changes can help you feel lighter, stronger, and more comfortable in your own skin. As we keep exploring how even the healthiest sounding vegetables might be working against your best intentions, there's one more that many of us have leaned on for comfort our whole lives: the good old potato. Mashed with butter, baked with sour cream, fried into crispy golden French fries, potatoes are woven into family dinners, holiday gatherings, and everyday meals alike. They're warm, familiar, and oh so satisfying. But for seniors, potatoes can quietly create a perfect storm inside the body, a storm that builds with every forkful. The biggest issue with potatoes is their extremely high glycemic index. Now, that's just a fancy way of saying potatoes break down into sugar very quickly after you eat them. Your bloodstream gets flooded with glucose in a rush, and your body scrambles to release insulin to bring that sugar level back down. When you're younger, your body usually handles this dance pretty well. But as we age, insulin sensitivity naturally declines. That means those sharp sugar spikes and drops hit harder and take longer to recover from. After a plate of potatoes, you might notice yourself feeling unusually sleepy, irritable, or craving more sweets without really understanding why. Over time, these sugar surges can contribute to serious problems like type 2 diabetes, stubborn belly fat, nerve damage, and heart disease, even for people who think they're eating fairly healthy. And it gets worse when potatoes are fried. French fries, potato chips, hash browns. These fried favorites are loaded not only with extra unhealthy fats but also with acrylamides, toxic compounds formed during high-temperature cooking. These acrylamides have been linked to inflammation, oxidative stress, and even a higher risk of certain cancers. For seniors already managing inflammation from arthritis or other chronic conditions, Regular doses of fried potatoes can silently fan the flames, worsening joint pain, stiffness, and fatigue. Even when you bake a potato, if you peel away the skin, that beautiful fiber-rich layer, you're left with mostly starchy flesh that spikes blood sugar just like white bread would. Without the skin to help slow digestion, baked potatoes can cause those same energy crashes and cravings that pull you into an endless loop of highs and lows, hunger and exhaustion. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up that comforting texture and flavor you love. A simple swap to sweet potatoes can make a world of difference. Sweet potatoes still have some natural sugars, yes, but they're lower on the glycemic index, which means they release sugar into your bloodstream much more slowly. Plus, they're loaded with fiber, beta-carotene, and powerful antioxidants that help fight inflammation instead of feeding it. And if you love your classic white potatoes, keeping the skin on, baking or steaming instead of frying, and pairing them with a healthy fat and plenty of greens can help steady your blood sugar and ease digestion. It's not about giving up the foods you love. It's about understanding them and adjusting how you enjoy them so your body feels supported, not sabotaged. Now there's one last vegetable we need to talk about. It's one that's graced salads, fajitas, stir-fries, and colorful snack trays for decades. The cheerful, crunchy bell pepper. Those bright reds, yellows, and greens are packed with vitamin C and fiber, and they certainly add a pop of color to any plate. But for some seniors, they can also bring hidden digestive and inflammatory troubles that sneak under the radar. One problem lies in their tough outer skin. That glossy, vibrant skin can be surprisingly hard to break down, especially when digestion isn't quite as powerful as it once was. Bell peppers can linger longer in your stomach, fermenting and creating gas, bloating, and even painful cramps. If you've ever felt that uncomfortable pressure after a meal heavy on raw peppers, your body might be trying to tell you something. Bell peppers also belong to the nightshade family, just like eggplant and potatoes. And, as you might remember, nightshades contain solanine, a natural chemical that, in sensitive individuals, can quietly worsen joint inflammation. If your knees feel a little stiffer, your hands ache a little more, or old injuries start to throb after meals with a lot of peppers, it may not be coincidence. For people managing arthritis or autoimmune conditions, nightshades like peppers can be sneaky culprits. And while not everyone is allergic to bell peppers, mild sensitivities are more common than most people realize. Sometimes they show up as subtle signs: a stuffy nose, itchy skin, brain fog, or just feeling unusually tired after eating. These reactions are easy to brush off, but paying closer attention can reveal important patterns about how your body reacts. The encouraging part is that once again, you don't have to banish bell peppers from your table forever. Cooking them, roasting, grilling, or even sautéing softens the tough skin, breaks down some of the irritating compounds, and makes them easier on your digestion. Removing the skins after roasting, a trick used in traditional cuisines around the world, can make peppers even gentler for sensitive stomachs. And if you notice that even cooked peppers still leave you feeling off, swapping them for gentler, vitamin C-rich vegetables like zucchini, carrots, or broccoli can keep your meals colorful and nutritious without the uncomfortable side effects. What's important here isn't about fear or deprivation, it's about wisdom. As you grow older, your body gives you signals. Some are loud, some are whispers. But when you take the time to listen, you can make small, powerful choices that add up to feeling better, moving easier, and living with more vitality every day. Choosing vegetables mindfully, adjusting how you prepare them, and staying tuned into your own needs can protect your kidneys, calm your digestion, ease your joints, and help you stay active and vibrant well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. After all, healthy aging isn't about giving up your favorite foods. It's about evolving with your body's changing needs and finding new ways to feel good, inside and out. You've already taken the first step just by being here, learning and caring enough to listen to what your body might be asking for. And that's something to feel proud of. If you found this conversation helpful, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever noticed feeling different after eating some of these vegetables? Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to connect the dots for themselves. And if you'd like more friendly, down-to-earth advice on living healthier, stronger, and happier at every age, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new video. You deserve to feel vibrant, energized, and at home in your own body, no matter what the calendar says. Here's to embracing life with open arms, one smart, caring choice at a time. Stay strong, stay healthy, and keep thriving. See you next time.